Hello, and welcome to day 4 of our healing week. How you doing? How you feeling? How are things going for you this week? Have you been watching the videos consistently every single day? Or are you taking a couple days in between to kind of integrate and allow things to sink in, to work through the system? What things are coming up for you? I want to know. So put in the comments if you are participating this week and if you've been working on all of the things that we've been talking about. What has changed for you so far? I want to know. Put that in the comments because we want to solidify that. I want you to acknowledge that you are A, putting in the work, B, getting something out of it. Even if it's the tiniest thing, because here's the thing, it's going to be small because these are small incremental things for you to do. And that's what you're going to get out of it. I mean, if you're getting big changes, great. Put that in the comments, share that through the posts. Like, I want to know what this week is doing for you. All right. So today is all about the formula. We're talking about a formula. I got some makeup here. The formula. Okay. So this formula is so simple and so easy. And it sounds so like why is this even a step, right? But once you start putting it into action, it's actually, our human brain likes to overcomplicate things a lot, right? And make things a lot more complex and convoluted than they really need to be. So I want you to also be aware of when your brain is doing that for you, right? When you're working on yourself and things come up and then things get really complicated and you're like, what is going on, right? This formula I'm going to share with you today is going to help you kind of come back into center, and it's going to help you kind of just like let go a little bit and allow things to come in the way they're meant to come in. All right. So simple as this. This is something that I actually got from a mentor of mine. His name is Daryl. So he is a channel for Bashar, which is his future self, basically, what he's channeling. And he's an amazing guy. And if you have never heard of Daryl or Bashar, I would highly recommend searching it up on YouTube because there's tons and tons of videos of him. So this I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to share with you the thoughts and experiences of my own, right? So, and then we get to go into the card reading, and then we're going to end, of course, with another 5-10 minutes of Reiki, right? Just to help this integrate, help this come in to your own physical body, right? Because that's the thing, is ideas are great, but until you fully integrate them, they're not going to take effect in your life, right? So the formula, here it is. I'm going to give this to you. Now, I believe I gave this to you in your workbook too. If you printed off your workbook, you should have this as well, right? So the formula is very simple, very straightforward. It's simply acting on whatever contains the highest level of excitement every moment that you can. That's step 1, right? Step 2, to the best of your ability. Okay? Step 3, taking it as far as you can go until you cannot take it any farther. And you'll know when you're there, right? And number 4, with zero insistence on the outcome or how it should look or where you're supposed to go. All right? That is it. That's my teaching for today. Okay? But we're going to dig into this because it sounds really simple, really. You just act on whatever contains the highest level of excitement in your life at every moment that you possibly can. You're not going to be able to do it every single moment of every day, and that's okay, right? Our best is going to change every single day. Our best, some days are, we can get a lot done. Some days our best is when we're super tired, and the best that we can do is maybe, leave the dishes for another day, but you can at least, play with your kids, or to finish a project, or, you know, like, it's just those little things, right? So do it to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you go until you can't go any farther with it, with zero insistence on the outcome or how it should look or where it should go. Okay. So this is, to me, when I heard this formula, I was like, oh my gosh, is it really, can it be really that simple? Is it that simple? You know? And the thing is, you know, throughout my learnings and my experience of my awakening journey, I can tell you this, my brain likes to overcomplicate things like crazy. And if you're in this group and going through this journey and, you know, watching these videos, chances are you are too, right? And that's okay. But the thing is, you have to be aware of it, and in order to change it, right? You can't change something that you're not aware of. And that's the biggest important thing, right? So here's the thing. So you go as far as you can go. You're not insisting on the outcome. You're not trying to make it to be a certain way, right? Because here's the thing. What Bashar teaches is that you have absolutely no business knowing how things are going to turn out. That's none of your business. How? Just know that the universe has a plan for you. And that actually, you created this plan for yourself prior to coming into this incarnation, into coming into this life. I'm just going to present that idea to you. You can either take it or run with it or not, right? But this is what I strongly believe. This is what I've experienced in my life. So the thing is you don't picture, you know, okay, sorry. This is a really good point. I want to share this with you, is that the reason why you have no business knowing what is in store for you is that you have no idea if the picture that you have in your head of what the outcome should be is actually what it's supposed to be, right? Let me let that sink in for a second. Because your human brain does not have the capability of thinking like your higher mind, like your higher self, right? Your higher self is that overview of you that knows everything, that has seen all lifetimes, all incarnations, and it's connected to your Akash, right? Your Akashic records, the past, present, future, everything, right? So what you might think you need may not be it at all. There might be something like 100 times better for you out there. But because you're stuck on this thought that it's supposed to be a certain way, and if it doesn't show up, then I must be doing something wrong, you know, that's blocking you from achieving that bigger, higher thing, right? And that's the thing, is I want you to be aware of this, because this is manifestation 101, right? This is law of attraction 101, whatever you want to call it. It's the law of the universe, right? So your higher mind could actually bring you something 10 times better than what your human brain can actually imagine up, right? Because your human brain only has the capacity of what you've experienced so far in this life, right? It doesn't have the capacity to access higher realms of imagination, of insight and intuition, right? That's your higher self. That's your higher mind, right? There's your human brain and then your higher mind. You with me? Okay. But here's the thing. When you're insisting, it's got to look like this, or or something is wrong. Is it? Is there something really wrong? Or what if it's going exactly the way it's supposed to go? And if you would just let go of control that you think you need to have, you actually can allow that better thing to come in. And it's not until you relinquish control and say, you know what, universe, give you the wheel, drive my ship. I can only see so far, right? When you're in the valley, you can't really see around the turns and the peaks, right? Because your higher self can see all that, but you are down in the valley and your higher self is up on the mountaintops. And if the communication is cut off and you're saying, no, it has to look this certain way or it's not working, you know, then you're going to run into trouble. And you're going to be, as Abraham Hicks says, going upstream, right? So just something to think about, just something to be aware of, because really when you make it that you need to have it a certain way, you are shutting the door on greater things, right? So in the end, what I really want to get across is that you don't know, and you don't know the ideal outcome of what is actually best case scenario for you, right? So allow yourself to let go of the control of the wheel for some time and see what happens, okay? So insisting on the visualization, you're insisting it's got to look this way, is actually a negative limitation you're putting on this change that you're trying to bring about in your life, right? Whatever the change is, because ultimately that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create change in your life, right? With this formula. And when you're insisting on it, it's going to prevent you from experiencing those good things. So just stop doing it. Just stop. It could be that easy, right? Because here's the thing, insistence, when you insist on something, you're actually resisting what is, right? That's important too. There really is no supposed to be. No, you gotta let what is be. That's important, so important, right? So know that whatever is coming up for you, whether it's you perceived as negative or as perceived as positive in your life, know that that's exactly what's supposed to be happening for you. Because here's the thing, if you want something that's up here on like a big lofty goal and it's up high and you're down here, you got to let go of everything that's holding you down here in order to get up there, right? So if you have this goal and you go set out for it, you got to work through all the stuff that's getting in the way first. And that's what's going to come up. That's what the universe is going to bring up. It's like, oh, you want this? Okay, good. So in order to get there, you got to work on this, this, and this. And then you can be at high vibration enough to reach this, right? So just know that everything is perfect the way it is, whether it's perceived as positive or negative, whether you like what's going on for you or you don't like what's going on for you. It's all serving a purpose in your life, right? It's giving you clarity on what you need to see, to experience, and that way you can let go of whatever's getting in your way. That makes sense, right? And you need to stay in that positive state. You can't afford, okay, I say this all the time. I started saying this when my daughter was going through her cancer treatment, was you simply cannot afford to not be positive. You can't afford to be any other way. Because as soon as you go down that rabbit hole of, self-pity, victimization, and, feeling bad for yourself, you're just spiraling and it's not helping you move forward. So stay positive. It wouldn't be there if there wasn't a reason for it. So whatever's coming up for you, again, there's a reason why it's coming up for you. So whether it feels good or bad, sometimes when things feel bad, we try to avoid them or try to sweep it under the rug, but that's not working anymore. So know you got to know that this process, this formula, trust that it works. Trust, have faith that you're going to get where you need to be as long as you just allow things to flow the way they're supposed to flow. Okay? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how things look. It doesn't matter how it does or doesn't happen. Because what if that thing you really want isn't actually meant for you? There's actually something way better though. And because you're so fixed on this goal, you're losing sight of all the other things that the universe is putting in your way to kind of steer you another direction, right? So be open. Be open to what is out there, what is happening, what's happening in your life, right? And here is a belief that is going to really propel you forward, okay? Are you ready for this? It will always benefit me. This, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're experiencing, there's always a benefit in there for you. Believe that, know that, embody that. Say, there is a reason for this, and it's going to benefit me in the end. It may not feel good right now, and that's okay, right? But it's always, 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 always going to benefit you, okay? It goes along the lines of thinking of this or something better, right? That's something you may have heard. What I do is I just go for it and see what happens. That's kind of my motto. It's been my motto for my whole life. It's kind of a theme. I just do things and see what happens. I'm like, maybe that didn't work out so well, right? Maybe that did work out so well, right? With these trainings, with these readings that I do, everything that I do, I'm like, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do it because I want to. It feels like in my heart and soul that I want to do it. So I'm just going to try it and see what happens, right? Zero expectation. I'm going to admit, I have lots of expectations I have set upon myself and shot myself in the foot because I realize that there are better things out there for me. So that's why I'm sharing these tips and tricks with you now this week, because it's so important. These are things that really help me on my journey, and I want to help you on your journey. Okay. So, no matter what happens, it's always, always going to benefit you. There's always a benefit to it. Know that. Look for it, because you can easily see the problems in anything. Our mind is like trained to see the problems. So ego goes straight to the problems, right? But now it's time to retrain your brain to find the benefits in it. Because here's the thing, we live in a dualistic universe. Everything that has a negative does have a positive. I can guarantee you that. You just have to be able to look for it and be open to seeing it. Okay. There's always a benefit in there for you. So then you're given a choice. You're given a decision that any situation or circumstances that arises using this formula, it activates a complete toolkit within you that's just going to open up and allow things to work better for you, right? So I'm going to read this. You then have the opportunity to say, I'm going to give this a positive or negative meaning, right? So we just talked about this, how you actually get to choose whether you're going to define whatever's happening in your life as positive or negative. It happens so quickly sometimes that because we're so pre-programmed to believe in certain things as positive or negative that we'll just automatically assume it is. But is it? I want you to start questioning that, right? It's so important, right? So I'm going to pull some cards. Let's expand upon these ideas. Acting on whatever contains the highest excitement for you in any moment of you can, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can go until you can take it no further with zero insistence on the outcome or how it should look or where it's supposed to go. Okay, we're going to take some cards, pull some cards. Let's ask our higher self to step in. Ask our higher selves to show us what we need to know about this in order to make the best use of it in our lives. Okay. I'm interested to see what cards are going to pop out. Formulas, insistence, it's always going to benefit you. Always, always, always. That is something I just come back to, honestly. The knowing that I don't have time to think any other way. I don't have time to sit on the negative anymore. I've spent most of my life in the negative, right? I'm sure you have too. If you're sitting here watching this, we're connected for a reason, right? My energy brought you here. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of the lessons that you're learning and take advantage of what information I'm sharing. If this resonates with you, definitely use it in your life. Okay, I got 2 cards coming out. The first card actually is funny that it came out because I'll tell you in a minute. There we go. Last card. Good. Okay. First card that came out was Lemuria. Lemuria. So my heart lately has been pulling me to Lemuria and the energies of Lemuria. If you have not heard of Lemuria before, I would highly recommend reading. There's a book by Rebecca Wolf that works with Cryon, right? Cryon, they wrote a book, The Women of Lemuria. Read that book, okay? After you'll get this. But creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So creating heaven on earth, that's kind of what we're wanting to do, right? Secretly, we all came here to do that. That's our mission, is to clear up all the junk, get that all out of the way, that hundreds of thousands of years of just pain and suffering and turmoil, right? Like we're done. As a human race, I'm done suffering. I don't need to suffer anymore. I've learned all that I can through suffering, right? So now we've come here on earth. We're star seeds. We're all star seeds here, right? We've all come to change the game on earth, change how things operate on earth. And that's a pretty big task, right? That's what I strongly, fully believe in my heart of hearts and soul, right? Is that we all came here. Not every single person on the planet. I'm saying the people who, in these spiritual groups, the people you watching here, you came here with a purpose and a reason to change the game. And now the only way to change the game is on an individual basis to start. And that's through you, through your life. You send out that ripple effect and everything around you changes. And then everything around that changes, right? So think about that. Think about the effects that you're having on your life just by doing this work, right? So creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Our higher selves are saying, it's happening, guys. It's happening now. And it's because you're putting in this work and taking the time for yourself that it's happening. That's how it's happening, is because you're doing work on you. You're not here to change the entire world. You're going to do that by working on you, right? The Pillar of Light is the next card that came out, which is very interesting. Raising your vibration, you are the oracle. That's so cool, right? That you're the Pillar of Light. You are. I'm here to show you, to help remind you of how strong you really are, right? I'm shining my light so that you can start shining yours too. And you don't have to shine it the exact same way that I'm doing it. You have your way of doing things, right? Know that. Sink into that. There are things that excite you in life, and this is what this whole day is all about, right? Raising your vibration, letting go of all the stuff that's been weighing you down, that you've been baggage that you've been carrying, that probably not even your baggage to carry in the first place. These are just things that you bought into when you were growing up. Stories that you took on because that was the story that your parents told, that your parents' parents told, right? Not anymore. It ends with us. That's what I believe. I am ending my generations of pain and suffering and turmoil. It's ending with me. My kids are never going to experience the pain and suffering that I experienced. My kids are never going to even know about the pain and suffering that my parents or their parents have experienced. It's not even a thing. It doesn't matter. We are not learning in that way anymore as human beings. So know that, right? You are the oracle. You have the access to all the information that you ever needed in your life. You just have to believe it, know it. You just need to know it in your heart of hearts because it's true, right? Because if any of this information that I'm sharing with you feels wrong or it feels like, I don't know. Okay, great. Then it's, then you're not there yet. I'm talking to those of you who are here, who are there to shine your light, to start changing the game. That's a big deal. So excited. Okay, and last card. Higher self says, share your voice. Go out there, speak your truth. Share stuff that you feel compelled to share because it's important for you to do that. Whatever that is, in whatever areas of your life that you feel need to share. It says, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So persecution was something that we had to deal with before in past lives, generational pasts, right? That's not a thing anymore. Nobody's getting hung or burned at the stake for being a witch anymore. It's not a thing. We've come so far in human nature, in our human evolution, and our human consciousness that's simply not going to happen anymore. So you are free to be who you are, to share your magic, to share with everyone around you. So speak your voice, speak true, open that throat chakra. All right. So that actually makes me realize for our Reiki session today, we're going to work on the throat chakra because I know sometimes I need to open up my throat chakra too. So that's a good thing. Okay. So share your voice. It's happening. Heaven on earth is happening now. And you are the pillar of light. You are the oracle. Okay. All right. So that brings us to our Reiki session. Are you excited? Sit back, relax. This is a time for you just to let go and allow the energies to sweep over you, to clear you, to cleanse you, to help you integrate the information that you've been learning this week and really just relax, let go. Okay? All right. So I'm going to put my music on. You get comfortable, close your eyes. Start by taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, very slow and purposeful. All right. Start those deep, deep breaths, relaxation breaths. Let go every part of you. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your abdomen. Relax and let go. Sit comfortably and just receive. want you to start bringing your awareness back to the room, back to where you are, back to your body. And to start taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly inhale and exhale. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And open your eyes when you are ready. How are you feeling? Oh, Reiki. It's a good thing. It's a good tool to know. It's good to give to others. It's good to give to yourself, right? When you need help and, your own healing. Just allow everything that you've been taking in to integrate. Start looking at ways that you can start applying this. That's the biggest thing, is taking action on what you're learning, on what you're experiencing, what you're knowing, what's coming up for you. Be open and aware of what's coming up for you, especially in the next coming days. Now, one thing I do want to make mention is that every time we do Reiki, I need you to drink as much water as you possibly can to flush out anything that has been coming up for you. That's very important. So make sure you drink lots of water over the next coming days. And if this is something that you want to continue on with, you want to work deeper with me, I would encourage you to go to my website, myawakeningjourneys.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. You can do a one-time session, or we can do the mentoring and coaching. If that's something, if you have something bigger that you're working on, definitely I encourage you to reach out and book that time. Book it. And get started on your next chapter, the next phase of your evolution, of your awakening. That's what I'm here to do, is help you through it. All right. So that is it for today. I send you so much love, so much light, and I will see you again tomorrow. Much love.